in this video we actually got an outlet here. As you can see, now in this outlet, the issue here is it's all the way in there, and that's a problem because it just doesn't look good even though it's solid. And if we just keep it like this, it's just gonna get dirty here and things can go in here. I don't know, it also just doesn't look good. And over time this could be a problem for the plate, because the plate is like bending in, and it's nylon, so that's why it's still holding. But this would be broken if it was just a regular plastic cover. So we're gonna have to go and fix this. In order to fix this, we don't really need much. We just gotta grab a flathead screwdriver and we will open this up. Just a few turns and this should just open up. And we have our outlet exposed here. Now, the problem is not only the box is a little bit inside than what the drywall was. The other problem is it's buried in there. So they've done some drywall work after this outlet was put in, and then they kind of buried it in there. So what our job would be is theoretically the best thing for this outlet to where this outlet should be, or these ears should be right on top of the drywall. Obviously we can't do that right now because that would be like drywall work, and even if you put like compound around here, after you take the drywall out, try to compound around the box, it's just not going to be strong as a drywall piece as itself. So it'll just crumble, so that's also not worth it. So our safest bet would be spacers. So let's actually take this outlet out. But in order to take this outlet out, we would actually need to do a few more things before we get to that step. So easy thing is we gotta carry a blade, utility knife. We would basically just take the utility knife and score out the drywall compounds. Luckily, this is just new. It's been a few days. This was here. So, we can just cut this out. Should be very easy with the utility knife. So, you just kind of like be careful. You don't want to create too much damages where your paint peels or it wouldn't be covered by this plate. So you got to be very, careful about it and go around and kind of like have the whole outlet exposed, because we want to have some nice surface to work with for our outlet to sit in, nicely. So what we will do is we will put the spacer in, but the best thing would be for you to, clean all the way around and kind of like, have a little bit, more space to work with, because we will be putting this type of spacers. Now there are different types of spacers. This one here is very similar, but it wouldn't cover the whole thing. You would just put them in here and here, like, behind the screws, and that would do the trick. Now this is something I always use, but I like to use this because now you have like more surface area to hold on to, and it would basically make sure that our receptacle also remains straight and it doesn't like bow in any way, and it also has like good strength whenever somebody's trying to plug something in and out all the, over the course of the years. So we just basically need to make sure this sits in nicely. So we just have to score around all four sides to kind of accommodate that, but also have to keep checking to make sure that it gets covered by our the receptacle cover. So I just shaved off a little bit here and there. There you go. So it would sit in very nicely, as you can see. It fits in there. I don't know if you can see from my hand, but yeah, there you go. So now that we're sure everything is good, I'm basically gonna take the receptacle out. I'm not an electrician or anything, so if you guys are watching this, it should be only for entertainment purposes. I'm using this square tip here. I don't know if you could see. It just like doesn't strip the screws or anything. Very nice. You could just use a flathead or a Phillips head for this application, you know, on your screwdriver. That would also work too. So, you know, I took the outlet out, the receptacle out, and I'll take this thing and we will put it in the back. So you can find different sizes of this thing. You could also stack these. This is going to be your most common size, especially if you're doing like a new thing. So this size kind of would work out. I think like I need a little bit thinner than this. You know, again, the red ones work, you know, wonders. But I'll just use this and try to minimize whatever the situation we were facing. So it would basically go to the back of the receptacle. And if you are not, you know, like an electrician or anything, obviously you don't need to watch this video. And if you're a DIYer, I would really highly suggest, you know, shutting the breaker off to make sure there's no power. You can also get like one of these contact tester. If I could get it out of my pouch. There you go. Okay. Non-contact tester. We just turn it on, and you know, like hold it near the outlet. It'll start beeping like that, right? It'll go all red from green, just like that. So now we know that there's power. You know, once you shut the breaker off, then you know it will just stay green. You know, it won't be turning up red or anything like that. So you know, we're good to go on that. And then basically we just screw this back in with the spacer on, and we just try to make sure that, you know, it stays straight. So take your time and slowly get that in. As you can see, you know, this kind of fills up the entire space, and you know, we're basically just trying to make sure that this, you know, metal part is just a little bit above, you know, like even if you keep it flush, it's not a problem, you know. We're just trying to make sure that it's in there. This part is sticking out a little bit because I don't know why the box is, you know, out a little bit this way, but you know, it's not going to be a big deal because we almost got it there. I don't think you could even see if there's an issue. But you know, this just makes sure that, you know, we have a solid bonding here, and it's not all the way in, and it's also not all the way out. So it's going to be safe for people to, you know, work with this thing, and over the time it won't get dirty or anything like that, or you know, create any issues. So we just put our cover back on. We just, you know, hold it by the screw, and then thread this in carefully with the flathead screwdriver, and then we will just see if that worked out or not. There you go. Look at that, beautiful. So as you can see, that's a big difference. You know, it's not like how we saw it in the beginning. It's all the way in, and it's sitting very flush to the actual outlet, the whole cover and everything. So yeah, you know, like that's kind of like, you know, what right here. So, you know, that's kind of like what we were doing here, trying to like minimize that, you know, messed up part. Another thing I'm going to show you right now is the example of whatever I just talked about. See this one here, this box, you know, this is holding by the drywall, so this is perfect. You know, this is kind of what we want. This one here is going in because they cut too much on top. So in this case, this is a temporary switch for the construction time. So now that, you know, all of that is over, I'm going to put a dimmer switch, which, you know, the covers of those, like, you know, the metal part of those like kind of extends out. So you know, I'm hoping that solves this issue, but if it doesn't, I will just put some red spacers here and bring it out to match it with this. So like, you know, then it won't be like, you know, one side in. So, you know, that's pretty much what we are trying to, you know, achieve. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Peace.